Most people believe money comes from hard work. Work harder, stay busy, do more. If that were true, teachers would be rich, factory workers would be wealthy, and stress would be rewarded with money. But look around. The hardest working people are not the richest people. So the problem is not effort. The truth is simple. Money does not follow hard work. Money follows rules, invisible rules, rules that are never taught in school, rules your parents were never taught, rules that are not written in any textbook. No teacher explains them. No job trains you for them. No one talks about them openly. But these rules decide who stays middle class and who escapes it. Billionaires do not work harder than you. They think differently. They choose differently. They play a different game. While most people work inside the system, billionaires design the system. And the middle class never learns the rules of that game. Not because they are lazy, not because they are stupid, but because the rules are invisible. This audiobook is not about motivation. It is not about hustle. It is not about working longer hours. This audiobook is about the rules that decide your financial class. Once you see these rules, you can never unsee them. And your relationship with money will never be the same again. Chapter 1. Money is a system, not a reward. Most people believe money is a reward. Work hard, be honest, stay loyal, and money will come. But that is not how money really works. Money does not reward effort. It rewards position. It flows through systems. A system decides who gets paid, how much they get paid, and how often they get paid. That is why hard work does not guarantee wealth. Many people work long hours every day and still struggle, not because they are lazy, but because they are inside the wrong system. Hours do not decide income. Systems do. An employee trades time for money. When the time ends, the money ends. No work means no income. An owner controls the flow. The system keeps working even when they stop. That is the difference. Billionaires do not chase paychecks. They build pipelines. Pipelines that move money again and again. Businesses, assets, platforms, ownership. Once the pipeline is built, effort reduces, but income continues. This is the mindset shift. Stop asking, how hard should I work? Start asking, what system am I inside? Because if the system is small, your income stays small. Change the system, and money starts moving differently. This is not luck. This is structure. And structure decides wealth. Chapter 2. The class psychology divide. Money is not just numbers. Money is psychology. Different financial classes think differently about money. The poor think about survival. They focus on today. Food, rent, bills. Risk feels dangerous because one mistake can break everything. The middle class thinks about stability, a safe job, a fixed salary, a predictable life. They want comfort and security. They avoid risk even if it limits growth. The rich think about leverage. They ask, how can I earn more without working more? They use systems, people, technology, and capital. They do not trade time. They multiply results. Billionaires think about control. They do not just use systems. They design them. They control platforms, markets, rules. They decide how value moves. This is the truth many avoid. Your income level reflects how you think about risk and control. If you fear risk, you choose safety. If you understand risk, you manage it. If you control systems, money flows to you. Changing income starts with changing thinking, because money follows psychology before it follows effort. Chapter 3. Income is loud, wealth is silent. Income makes noise. A big salary, a new car, a better house, expensive clothes. These things are visible. The middle class often shows money, not to impress others, but to feel secure. Spending feels like success, but wealth is different. Wealth is quiet. Billionaires do not need to show it. They do not need approval. They focus on building assets, businesses, equity, ownership, cash flow systems. This is the difference. Looking rich is not the same as being rich. Spending creates pressure. More bills, more commitments, more fear of loss. Ownership creates silence. Assets pay quietly. Systems work quietly. Money grows without noise. This is the invisible rule. Wealth avoids attention. The louder your lifestyle, the heavier your pressure. The quieter your assets, the stronger your position. Chapter 4. Ownership is the real paycheck. Most people depend on salary. Every month, they wait for it. When the salary stops, everything stops. Salary is temporary. It exists only as long as you are working. Employees get paid once. They give time. They receive money. The exchange ends. Owners get paid repeatedly. They build something once, and it pays many times. This is the power of ownership. Equity beats bonuses. A bonus feels good for 1 month. Equity works for many years. Promotion gives a higher title. Control gives freedom. Control beats promotion. When you own part of the system, you decide. You choose direction. You choose speed. You choose growth. Here is the reality check. You never get rich renting your time. Time is limited. Ownership is scalable. If your income depends only on your presence, it will always be fragile. Wealth comes from owning, not just working. Chapter 5. Debt is a weapon, not a sin. Most people are taught one thing. Debt is bad. Avoid loans. Stay safe. The middle class fears debt. They see debt as danger. But billionaires see debt differently. They design it. Debt itself is not good or bad. It depends on how it is used. Bad debt consumes. Credit cards for lifestyle. Loans for comfort. EMIs for things that lose value. This type of debt eats income every month. Smart debt multiplies. It buys assets. It builds businesses. It creates cash flow. The difference is simple. Debt should buy income, not comfort. Banks understand this very well. Banks do not fund lifestyles. They fund systems. They lend money to businesses, assets, and structures that can pay back the loan. This is the hidden truth. Debt is dangerous only without intelligence. Used blindly, debt destroys. Used wisely, debt accelerates growth. Billionaires do not fear debt. They fear useless debt. Chapter 6. Time is the poor man's currency. Most people sell time. They wake up early. They work long hours. They feel tired. Time becomes their currency. But time is limited. You get the same 24 hours as everyone else. Time cannot be scaled. Once it is gone forever. The rich understand this. They protect time more than money. Money can be multiplied. It can be invested. It can be leveraged. It can be used to create systems. Time cannot. That is why delegation is power. When you delegate, you free your time. When others work inside your system, results multiply. Leverage replaces effort, technology, people, capital. These allow one decision to create many outcomes. Here's the rule. If your income needs your presence, it is fragile. If you must always be there, income stops when you stop. Strong income works even when you rest. Wealth is built when time is no longer the main currency. Chapter 7. Risk is misunderstood by the middle class. Most people fear risk. They want safety, certainty, guarantees. The middle class avoids uncertainty, a stable job, a fixed income, a predictable life. This feels safe, but avoiding risk is often the biggest risk. The world changes. Jobs disappear. Industries shift. What once felt safe can suddenly become dangerous. Billionaires think differently. They do not avoid risk. They manage downside. They ask, what is the worst that can happen? How can I limit the damage? They take controlled risks, small risks, calculated risks, smart risks. Comfort creates long-term danger. When life is too comfortable, growth stops. Learning slows. Adaptation weakens. Controlled risk builds freedom. It creates skills, experience, opportunity. Here is the psychology. Safety delays growth. Growth requires uncertainty. Those who understand risk move forward. Those who avoid it stay where they are. Chapter 8. Cash flow beats savings. Saving money feels responsible. Save more. Spend less. Be careful. Savings protect. They help in emergencies. They reduce fear. But savings alone do not create freedom. Cash flow liberates. Cash flow is money that keeps coming in, month after month, without constant effort. This is the difference. Stored money sits still. Moving money grows. Passive income is stronger than stored income. A fixed amount in the bank slowly loses power. Inflation eats it. Opportunities pass by. Cash flow stays active. It adapts. It grows. It creates options. This is the invisible rule. Money must move to grow. Saving protects your past. Cash flow builds your future. Chapter 9. Networks. Compound. Faster than skills. Skills are important. Education matters. Experience matters. But skills grow slowly. Networks grow faster. Who you know shapes what you access. The middle class competes alone. They try to do everything by themselves. They depend only on skills and effort. Billionaires collaborate. They work with others. They share resources. They combine strengths. This creates leverage. Proximity creates opportunity. When you are close to opportunity, you see it early. You hear about deals. You learn faster. You move sooner. Networks unlock leverage. One connection can open many doors. This is the truth. Opportunities travel through people, not through resumes, not through effort alone. Strong networks multiply outcomes. Chapter 10. Information reaches classes at different speeds. Intelligence is important, but timing is more powerful. Many people are smart and still miss opportunities. Why? Because information reaches people at different speeds. The middle class reacts late. They wait until something is safe, until it is proven, until everyone is talking about it. By then, the best opportunities are already gone. The rich position early. They hear things sooner. They see trends earlier. They move before the crowd. This is not luck. It is access. Access is more powerful than intelligence. Being early multiplies returns. A small move early beats a big move late. Here is the rule. By the time something is popular, the money is already made. Those who understand timing stay ahead. Those who wait for certainty arrive too late. Chapter 11. Billionaires. Think in decades. Most people want fast results. Quick success, quick money, quick growth. The middle class thinks in months. If it doesn't work soon, it's not worth it. Billionaires think differently. They think in decades. They are not in a hurry. They are building slow power. They understand one simple truth. Real wealth takes time. Compounding needs time. Money grows slowly at first, almost invisible. But over years, it becomes powerful. This is why patience beats hustle. Hustle burns energy. Patience builds momentum. Billionaires are willing to wait because they see the long game. They make small, precise moves, again and again. This is the mental shift. Think long, act precise. Do not rush outcomes. Design foundations. Those who think long win short-term dominance later. Because when compounding finally shows, it looks like overnight success. But it never was. Chapter 12. The final invisible rule. Control the game. Most people try to play better. They work harder. They improve skills. They follow rules. But the richest people do something different. They choose the game. They do not fight for outcomes. They control the rules. Control rules, not outcomes. When you control the system, results follow naturally. They own platforms, not positions. A position can be replaced. A platform creates power. They build environments, not jobs. Jobs depend on permission. Environments attract value. This is why designers always win. The person who designs the system decides who benefits from it. Here is the truth. If you don't control the system, you serve it. Freedom comes from control. Wealth comes from design. Once you understand this rule, everything changes. Because now, you are no longer playing, you are building the game. Once you see the rules, you can't unsee them. Money is not random. Wealth is structural. It is built on systems, ownership, and control. Class is psychological. How you think about risk, time, and security decides where you stay. Freedom is not earned by effort. Freedom is designed. It comes from choosing the right systems and building leverage over time. Learning the rules changes destiny. Once you understand how money really works, you cannot go back. The game was always there. You were just never shown the rules. Now you see them. What you do next is your choice. The middle class works harder inside the system. They follow rules. They obey structure. They wait for permission. Billionaires build the system. They decide the rules. They control the flow. They design the game. Once you understand the invisible rules, you face a choice. Stay comfortable. Stay safe. Stay inside the system. Or become dangerous. Dangerous enough to think differently. To choose control over comfort. To build instead of obey. Because money does not reward effort. It rewards position. And position is always a choice.